Married couples who sleep in separate rooms. Why do you do this? Girlfriend's parents do this. They both snore and do it to get away from each other's snoring. I didn't think it was that bad until they talked about having to sleep in the same bed during their trip in Europe. They were at each other's throats because if one fell asleep, the other couldn't. Had a roommate in a hotel that snored so loud we would drag him sleeping into the bathroom and close the door. He seriously sounded like a snoring cartoon. S-N-O-N-K-Hugh. You had me at S-N-O-N-K, but the Hugh really sells it. My parents do this. My mom likes to sleep with the TV on. My dad snores and steals sheets. My mother claims sleeping separately saved their marriage. Sounds like me and my husband, except my husband doesn't steal the sheets. He lays on them and I have to either wake him up or use all my strength to pull the sheets from under him. Ah, the good OL sheet heave with all your night. I am very familiar with this one. Pro tip: separate comforters. Sometimes I have to sleep on the couch cause I get hypersensitive to sound, especially human sound, and don't like the noise his whole existence makes. He gets it luckily. Misophonia. Real thing. It bothered me as a kid, but I really noticed noises when I came back from overseas. Hypersensitive now. I am actually surprised misophonia has not ended up being a reason for a percentage of violent crimes and disorders. I don't believe it's even on the newest DSM. I have misophonia. I don't like the sound of people drinking something or pouring liquid into something. I have to walk out of the room if it's happening because it makes my blood boil. Not exaggerating. Mouth noises. Sometimes people coughing. Electrical currents get me too. All sorts of things. If I even try to sleep on the couch in another room, I will wake up to her on top of me. That's funny but sweet as hell. Sweet as hell. Not related, but this reminds me of the theory that Willy Wonka's chocolate factory was actually his childhood version of Dante's Inferno. Edit. This is a theory I just made up to have something interesting to say. But the more I think of it, it makes sense. Would love to see a remake with a darker, horror-type theme maybe. Maybe not. IDK. Interesting theory. I dig it. My grandma and granddad do. She likes it freezing and he likes it boiling. Related but not. My grandparents may share a bed but they do have separate margarine containers. He's the scraper. Likes to keep the top of the margarine smooth. She just digs the knife in. They've been married 50-something years and have had this two-margarine system for as long as I remember. That's the way to solve those stupid problems. Also, e.g. if one always eats the other's food because they're not hungry enough to order their own, just order a small thing for them anyway and take it home if they end up not eating it. Genius. These are the small customizations every marriage should implement. My husband and I have separate bathrooms and it's the greatest. We blended two households. His bedroom was fully furnished and the furniture and closet were full. It made sense for my stuff to go in a different bedroom. We started out sleeping in one room or the other, but I realized pretty quickly that if I ever wanted to get a full night's sleep, it wasn't going to be in the same bed with him. I've been known to call him a sweating, snoring, slant sleeping son of a bitch after a night of his sweating, snoring, and slant sleeping. We do it your place or mine thing for non-sleeping activities, but GTFO when it's sleepy time. I've been known to call him a sweating, snoring, slant sleeping son of a bitch. Well, that seems a bit harsh. After a night of his sweating, snoring, and slant sleeping. Oh, right then. He's a lovely person when he's awake. Sleeping, not so much. Non-sleeping activities tilde my new favorite phrase. My wife has MS. One of the primary issues she has is vertigo. When I'm in the bed with her, The motion of my breathing, heartbeat, movement really fucks with her vertigo while she sleeps. Also, I snore, so an isolated coil mattress wouldn't quite do it. They aren't total isolation, either. You feel movement, or two beds in one room. Also, honestly, it spices up the sex life, adds an element of pursuit and some illicit atmosphere to it. We're sneaking around the house to each other's beds to bang. This sounds encouraging. Every story that I have read so far seems really positive in the sleep section. But I was wondering what happened with the sexy time. It sounds really cool that it spices up things. It definitely takes any of the lazy out of it. We've got to want it. He snores. I have a casual acquaintance that I know sleeps in a different room than his wife. I was curious about why, but I felt it was too personal to ask. And then we went on a bachelor party and I stayed in the same room as him. When we heard him snore, we all knew why. My whole family snores, like loud. Everyone else in the campground says something about it level. My wife sleeps with earplugs and sometimes I sleep on the couch. Like a freight train. Earplugs don't work. Doctor says he doesn't have sleep apnea so won't prescribe a CPAP. I'd rather snuggle the dogs on the futon anyways. Different sleep cycles and work schedules. He wakes up 3 hours before me. I'm a shift worker, she's a teacher. Your house hunter's budget is $1.6 million. Edit. Thanks for the prizes. Glad I was able to amuse. I'm a stay-at-home mom and my husband runs a tech startup. It's a dating site for dolphins. Our budget is $2.2 million. I have a hard time falling asleep without something to distract my brain from thinking. I usually watch a show, documentary or do some repetitive game on my phone to accomplish this. She can't stand the lights from the screen. OMG, my wife kills me with that damn phone screen at night. She can't fathom why it bothers me. Wear a sleeping mask. I love mine, it's silky. Tried it, can't handle something on my face. Spouse snores, 2 60-pound dogs, and a queen-size bed. No room for me and I need dead silence. You want dead silence and have 2 dogs sleeping on your bed? I'm guessing the dogs are in the other bed. We tried that but we spoil the pups and they always find their way onto our bed. I sleep on the extra bed and 1 dog always comes with me too. Works out pretty well. Not separate rooms, but a king bed and separate blankets. We sleep way better. I am a notorious blanket hog and he's always hot when he sleeps. Then we can be close when we want to and separate when we need a good sleep. My husband and I have used separate blankets since right after he first moved in when we were dating. For the same reasons. I'm a blanket hog and love a thick comforter. He can make do with just a thin sheet. I always liked that European, at least German, but I think other Euro countries do this too. Countries typically have 2 comforters on a double, as king bed. Even better that they are usually goose down, on top of sleeping better. The twin-size duvets are so much easier to change than king size. Different sleep cycles due to different work schedules. We are still madly in love and we both agreed to this. Because it's the best for both of us. So many reasons. Mainly because I usually go to bed hours before he does and hate being woken up mid-sleep as I find it very hard to fall back asleep. Other reasons. I love, need, to listen to, watch something while I'm falling asleep. He doesn't. I am usually quite a still sleeper. He flails, often whipping the cover off me mid-flail. He'll often want the heater on. I don't. He insists on setting about 10 alarms, 9 of which he ignores, meaning I have to deal with them. I grind my teeth and snore. He likes to sleep with the curtains open. I don't. We both love to sprawl. I often wake up before him and don't want to disturb him. We're just incompatible when it comes to sleeping in the same bed. Glad to see we're not the only ones. She wants to sleep in the same room as our newborn baby to be close to him, take better care of him. At night, I want to get enough sleep to function at my job. Same thing going on here, sucks but it's temporary.
Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.